Alright, so basically this is the Cell Entity project, and we're comparing the eukaryotic cell to a baseball field. I I just wanted to do that because that would be a good analogy, because I like baseball. And let's get started. Alright, first part of the cell, the main part is the nucleus. That's basically where it contains all genetic information, controls the whole process of the cell. So basically, on a baseball field team, it would be the pitcher's mound, because everything revolves around it, and the whole game goes from the pitcher. The pitcher can stop, the pitcher can keep going, and the whole thing revolves around it. Alright, next part is the cell membrane. That's the outer layer of the cell, which dictates what comes in and out of the cell. So basically, on a baseball field, it'll be the security and the all the people there, like the police. They see who comes in and out of the stadium. They make sure everyone is safe, and they can turn away people. And that's basically how it compares to a cell membrane. Next is the mitochondria. That's the power of the cell. It's an organelle found in pretty much all cells. It's the biochemical process of the respiration and energy production. It has double membrane and it has layers. So basically, how it compares to baseball field, it's like the infield and the outfield, because they're basically they're layers to the stadium. Like the infield's one layer, the outfield's no layer. They're completely different. Alright, now we have the ribosomes, and basically those are machines. That's where they make all the proteins in the cell. So basically, how a ribosome compared to a baseball team, basically the front office, because they're responsible for supplying the team and keeping it in check, basically helping take care of it. They're working for the team. Alright, now we have the endoplasmic reticulum, or ER. That's basically a network of membranous tubules in the cytoplasm of the cell, mostly eukaryotic, and they are continuous with the nuclear membrane. And there's two kinds. There's a rough ER and smooth ER. They're basically the same thing, only the rough ER has ribosomes on it. So they're basically both like a bullpen or a bench, because it's basically a storage device. It has the ribosomes on it. So basically very similar to storage devices of a bullpen, which carries extra pitchers, and the bench that carries extra players too, like substitutes and things like that. So now we have the Golgi body. That's a complex of vesicles and folded membranes in the cytoplasm, and they're involved in secretion and intracellular transport. So basically, Golgi body is the buses and tunnels and the planes that the players take to get to and from each stadium. Now we have the lysosome, and the lysosome is an organelle enclosed in cytoplasm and contains secretive enzymes. So it's basically breaking down the bad things and the waste in the cell. So basically, they're like dumpsters, garbage cans, trash collectors of the stadium, making sure it stays clean and taking care of all the bad materials in the cell. So now we have the vacuole, and basically big bubbles in the cell. Mostly in prokaryotic, they're much bigger in the prokaryotic than eukaryotic, and they basically store water or food and any variety of nutrients. So basically, they're most likely their locker room, because it contains all of the extra equipment and uniforms and things like that the players might need. Alright, so next up we have the peroxisome, and they're basically membrane closed organelles that contain enzymes, a variety of metabolic reactions, including sub-axis of energy and metabolism. So basically like the drinks and the snacks that they contain and dug out, because it's another storage device. It helps keep the players in check. So now we have the cytoplasm, and that's in every single cell. Still liquid in the cell. It doesn't have a nucleus. The cytoplasm is just a substance in the cell. So basically, it's the grass on the playing field of baseball, because it's basically the whole thing, where everything is taking place on. And very similar to that, we have the cytoskeleton. That's a structure that helps maintain the cell shape and internal organization, provides mechanical support. So So very similar to that is the foundation, like the bedrock and the pillars that help keep the stadium up, and it's where it's located, and make sure it's all well kept, and making sure it's all in a good condition. Alright, last but not least, you have the cilia, and they're basically small hairs that stick out from the cell, and then basically bring things into cell. They attract things towards it. So basically how it compares to a baseball stadium. It's like the ticket takers, the salesmen, and like the garage people that help bring people into the stadium, attract people there. And yeah, that's basically it. So that was my interpretation of how a cell compares to a baseball field, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.